Remember when Donald Trump said he was ending the political weaponization of government that wasn't even politically weaponized to begin with? Yeah, I sure do. And let's review how he's been doing on that. Oh, federal prosecutors opened criminal investigation into New York Attorney General. It's Letitia oh, yikes. So far in regards to political weaponization of government, we've had arresting judges, threatening to arrest judges, threatening to arrest Supreme Court justices, firing FBI agents who did investigations into January 6th. You've opened up an investigation into Act Blue, a Democratic super PAC. You have opened inquiries into fucking Chuck Schumer. You have opened up investigations into officials from your first term who weren't loyal enough to you, let's put it that way. And then you have various officials threatening legal action against AOC. You see a pattern here. The pattern is he didn't end weaponization of government. In fact, he is exacerbating it. And if you think any of these are honest investigations, I'm sorry, you're wrong. Okay. I'm not saying that every single person or entity that Trump opens investigations to is instantly innocent, but you got to understand that he is just doing this against enemies only. All of his allies that commit the same or more, any of those crimes, no. In fact, you get pardons. It gets all brushed under the rug, and in fact, you get a spot in my administration. You got to realize how dangerous this is. He is only going after his enemies. I need you to understand that. Let's read this article. Federal prosecutors open criminal investigation into New York Attorney General. And also stick around to the end of the video, because something that's even more ironic that's going to blow your mind is we're going to look at some of Trump's own fraud cases, and we're going to look at people who he's pardoned. And then you tell me if this guy is an honest actor and law and order and fighting crime. Federal prosecutors have opened a criminal investigation into New York's Attorney General Letitia James after the Trump administration alleged last month in a referral that she may have falsified paperwork for properties she owns in Virginia and New York, according to people familiar with the matter. That's so ironic. The investigation marks a swift and notable escalation against James, a major political enemy of Donald Trump, who was ordered to pay more than $450 million in penalties as a result of a lawsuit brought by James's office that accused him of inflating his net worth to secure financial benefits, which was true. In what appears to be the early stages of the FBI criminal investigation, prosecutors have impaneled a federal grand jury to hear evidence in the Eastern District of Virginia after the head of Federal Housing Agency, William Polt, last month made the referral to the Justice Department, the People said. The investigation appears to be multi-pronged. The People said, with involvement from the FBI in New York in addition to Virginia, the investigation appears to have gathered pace only in recent weeks, with news of the grand jury filtering through Trump's orbit in the last few days of April. The criminal referral rehashed claims touted online by Trump allies that James would have committed fraud by attesting in paperwork in 2023 that she would make a house in Norfolk, Virginia, which she was helping a relative to buy as her principal residence while she was in New York's Attorney General. Whether the allegations are substantial enough to result in criminal charges remains unclear, but its existence, which has not yet been previously reported, regardless, raises the legal stakes for James in what appears to be the first criminal inquiry into one of Trump's foremost political adversaries. James has dismissed the allegations as politically motivated retribution. In a letter to the Justice Department last month, James' lawyer argued the residency claim was a mistake and that she had told the mortgage broker the house would not be her main residence. Director Polt cherry-picked in August 17, 2023, power of the attorney that mistakenly stated the property to be Miss James's principal residence. James's lawyer, Abe Lowell, wrote the broker understood this and that Miss James was not a Virginia resident. Spokespeople for the Justice Department and the Federal Housing Finance Agency declined to comment. In a statement, Lowell criticized the investigations as baseless, adding that this appears to be political retribution against President Trump. Threatened to exact that AG Bondi assured the Senate would not occur on her watch. If prosecutors are genuinely interested in the truth, we are prepared to meet false claims with facts. And this, you can't convince me that this is nothing but politically motivated. And especially when we look at what Trump has done himself and people he's pardoned this term for similar, if not worse, just worse fraud acts, whatever you want to call this. Still, the allegations have gained traction in recent weeks among Trump's allies, who appear to see an opportunity to try and invalidate Trump's $450 million civil fraud trial verdict by challenging James's eligibility to be Attorney General and to advance the possibility of criminal charges. The power of the attorney was signed by James in August 2023, weeks before the start of the civil fraud trial. New York state law requires public office holders to be a resident of the state, and Trump's allies have argued when the case went to trial in October 2024, James should have been ineligible to be Attorney General. Trump's allies have also accused James of possibly obtaining improper finance benefits by attesting she would live in the Virginia house, therefore unlocking a lower interest rate for the mortgage because rates are lower for houses occupied by their owners. Real estate lawyers in Virginia suggested that paperwork was likely not to be an issue unless James had misrepresented her intentions with the house to a lender or insurer. James said in a separate loan application that she did not intend to live in Virginia. Criminal referral also accused James of buying a house in Brooklyn in 2001 that she characterized as a 5-unit property with a loan that was only available for homes of 4 units in order to receive better interest rates. This is just shit you do, dog. Like, chill. Like, I'm all for going after criminals, but like, when a convicted felon is our president and he's the one that's saying like, yes, I'm going to go after the criminals and fraudsters. Sorry, I'm a little bit skeptical. And I already told you some of my concerns at the start of the video, but I'll back up my concerns even more with actual things that have happened. The referral referenced in January 2001 certificate of occupancy that said the house had 5 units, and the letter back to the Justice Department Lois said the house had 4 floors, had been used by James as 4 units, and numerous other New York City records listed the building as 4 units. Crazy. Now, what are some of the cases of fraud, mainly relating to property-related matters for Donald Trump? Sorry, my dogs are fighting. Hey. Oi. Relax. Jesus. Okay. New York civil fraud case filed by New York. So this is the one. We don't really need to talk about this. We already went over that a little bit. Trump University case settled in 2016. Trump University misrepresented itself as a legitimate university. And we all know about that. It was a scam. He was a fraudster and is a fraudster. Trump Foundation case filed by New York Attorney General, misuse of charitable assets and self-dealing. Number 4, Cohen testimony and hush money reimbursement. Details: Michael Cohen, Trump's former lawyer, testified Trump regularly manipulated property values depending on his need to impress Forbes, reduce taxes, or secure loans. Trump signed checks reimbursing Cohen for Stormy Daniels' hush money, listing them as legal expenses. A potential case of falsifying business records. This all happened, dog. This all happened. And you think this guy is an honest actor going after crime, and it's totally not. This isn't politically motivated at all. Insurance fraud investigations, allegation, Trump organization allegedly misrepresented values to insurance companies to get favorable coverage. Findings from these investigations supported the broader New York civil fraud case. Isn't this all just so ironic? Isn't it just all so ironic? And this is just some cases against Trump. I mean, if we want to look at all cases going against fraud, he's literally a convicted sex abuser. Like, civilly, mind you, but like, come on. Let's look at some of his pardons. Yeah, obviously he did the January 6th Capitol attack pardons, but some of the white collar crime pardons, so more fraud related, since that's what he cares about. He cares about waste, fraud, and abuse. Yeah, you believe this man cares about that. That's my whole other problem with him cutting and going after all these agencies. You think this guy is being honest. Pardoned Trevor Milton, founder of Nikola Tech Corporation, convicted of securities and wire fraud. Ross Ulbricht, creator of the Silk Road online marketplace, serving a life sentence for multiple charges, including narcotics trafficking and money laundering. Carlos Watson, former CEO of Aussie Media, convicted of securities and wire fraud. Jason Galanis, financier involved in securities fraud schemes. And then additionally, Trump pardoned executives from the cryptocurrency exchange BitMEX, including Arthur Hayes, Benjamin Dello, Samuel Reed, and Gregory Dwyer, who were convicted of violating the Bank Secrecy Act. Law enforcement don't care about that. Clemency for political figures. Rod Blagojevich, former Illinois governor, who received a full pardon in February 2025. We covered that 5 years after his sentence was commuted by Trump. He was, you can go look into his background. I don't remember it good enough off the top of my head to go over it, so I don't want to just like misrepresent it, but he was in jail for a reason. Brian Kelsey, former Tennessee state senator, convicted of campaign finance violations. I think Blagojevich, okay, was he the one that was like trying to sell like Obama's seat or something, or is that someone else? It's so hard to keep all these freaking fraudsters like, organized in my mind. But yeah, you think this guy, this president, is you think he is qualified to be the law and order president? You think you trust this guy to be an honest actor and target crime with a complete neutrality? You trust that? Because everything I just showed you is exact reasons why you should doubt that. This guy's a convicted felon, brother. A convicted felon. And he always says, like, Biden weaponized the government against him. If that was true, you would be in jail. And probably a lot of people currently in your administration would also be in jail. If Biden was actually serious about political weaponization of government, you would be in jail. And guess what? It would be correct, because you are a criminal. You're a 33-time convicted felon, and all the other charges just got dropped because, it's a standing precedent that presidents can't be charged or investigated or whatever. Like, Jesus, man, we're so cooked as a country. I feel like my mind is going to implode. I think that's all I have for this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I will see you in the next one. If you made it to this point in the video, I just want to give a special thank you. If you enjoyed it, please hit that like button down below. And if you really enjoyed it, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button while you're down there. I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. I will try to reply to any and all comments that I can. Until next time, watch that video on screen.